dear students and my dear friends, I hope you're all doing great. And really, it's been a long time that we met, and I'm really sorry for the delay. I have been going through a busy schedule nowadays. So, finally, I have managed to take a time from my schedule, and I thought of preparing a video on an interesting topic, a topic which has been proposed by so many of you. And so today we'll be talking about the chloride shift, which is alternatively known as your hamburger phenomena. Now, those who are listening to these words for the first time, let me tell you one thing. The hamburger phenomena has nothing to do with the hamburger eating. So first of all, we are not going to talk about the composition of the hamburger and how it tastes and all. No. So this is something which is related to your own system, which is, I should say, this is something which is related to your respiratory system. Now, when we talk about respiration, as we all know, we have the mechanical respiration, we have the chemical respiration. Specifically, if we focus on cellular respiration, where the oxygen will be utilized to produce the energy, and you also know, along with the liberation of the energy, the carbon dioxide will also be released as a byproduct. And as you all know, this carbon dioxide, being one of the toxic, or I should say a waste product for our body, it should be released out of the cell. I should say it should be released from each and every corner from your body. So that particular set of carbon dioxide gas will be exhaled out. But for that to happen, as you know, those carbon dioxide has to be sent to the lungs, because from the lungs via alveoli it will come back in a reverse way so that it can exhale out easily, as you all know. So that means, if you carefully understand one thing, that let's give you an example. Suppose, say if this is a cell where oxygen is being utilized and carbon dioxide has been produced as a byproduct. Of course, energy will be liberated. We are not talking about it here. Now, this CO2 has to come out of the cell, right? And suppose this is happening in a peripheral cell or the peripheral tissue. So, as you know, once it has come out of the cell, now this particular carbon dioxide has to reach lungs. Now, irrespective of its position, it has to reach lungs. So as we know, we have the liquid connective tissue in our body known as blood, which will help in the transportation of carbon dioxide. Specifically, we have the red blood cells. More specifically, we have the hemoglobin in the red blood cells, which will help in the transportation of carbon dioxide. But sir, hemoglobin helps in the transportation of oxygen. It does. It does very much. Along with that, it also helps in the transportation of carbon dioxide. So, moral of the story, first things first, I have to take that carbon dioxide out of the cell and I have to put it inside the blood. And I have to make sure that the moment they enter in the blood, they have well settled there till it reaches to the lungs, where it will get offload. Here we will be doing loading, there we will do offloading. So loading, offloading, loading, offloading. This is what we are going to understand here. Right? So my prime focus for the topic of today is the carbon dioxide. Now let me give you an example. Let me give some data, I should say. If I write, say, carbon dioxide here. Now, this carbon dioxide can be transported with the help of the blood in three different forms. So, I'll write it for you. That is, first, almost 70% or 70 to 75%, it keeps on varying according to your textbook. Maximum amount of carbon dioxide is being transported in the form of bicarbonate. It can be the bicarbonate of sodium, It can be the bicarbonate of potassium. This will be maximum. Second, almost 23 to 25% will be transported with the help of hemoglobin, and that becomes your carb amino hemoglobin. So this is your carb amino hemoglobin. So if you calculate, we are left with 7%. Now this 7% of carbon dioxide will be transported in the form of dissolved in plasma. So right, they will be dissolved in plasma. Right? But since it is minimum in number, it does not carry some importance. We have to focus on point number 1 and point number 2. This is what we're going to learn here. Right? So this is a set of data you can remember because people ask questions on this. So we'll start with this now. So for that to understand, what I will do, I'll try to make a picture of, say, so this is a blood vessel. This is a tissue. You have the blood vessel. So definitely you will have the blood here, inside which, let's make that this is your red blood cell. Right? Let's make it a bit prominent so that I can have maximum amount of space. So this is a red blood cell. So definitely the surrounding the red blood cell will be my plasma. Right? So let's quickly do the labeling. This is my plasma. This is my red blood cell. Right? This is your tissue. Now let's understand what is happening at the level of tissue. Let's talk about the cellular respiration. As you know, in the cellular respiration, oxygen will be utilized to release the trapped energy from the food. Energy will be liberated, and along with that, the carbon dioxide as a byproduct will also be produced. So I can easily write like this. If this is your oxygen, after it is being used up, it will finally give rise to the formation of carbon dioxide. We have just now talked about the cellular respiration, right? Now this CO2 is supposed to enter because it is your blood. Blood is known as liquid connective tissue. That means this is the blood who will carry the carbon dioxide to the lungs, from where it can take the exit. Now as it enters here, it's supposed to enter, right? If you remember, let's talk about the data. 7% of this carbon dioxide will be mixed in the plasma. Just now we talked about it, right? So I'll write it here. This is about your 7%. It will be dissolved in the plasma. And like I've told you, it doesn't carry much importance. Now rest will enter here. So right now, you are having carbon dioxide here. Now understand one thing. If we talk about this particular blood, don't you agree that this blood, right now, it is coming from the lungs. That means it is nothing but an arterial blood. So if I say it is the arterial blood, that means, don't you agree that this particular red blood cell must be having oxyhemoglobin, and that too in a percentage of 95 to 97%, right? So I'll write it here. Now you are having, say, HbO2 and maybe few hemoglobin will be kept free. So now this carbon dioxide which has entered into the red blood cell, few amount of them favors the dissociation of oxyhemoglobin. Means in the presence of this carbon dioxide, the oxyhemoglobin will be broken. I hope you remember about the Bohr's effect, right? Which is told that an increase in the carbon dioxide level, that means a decrease in the pH level, and that favors the dissociation of this oxyhemoglobin, and that is what you call as the Bohr's effect, right? So here what happens, a few amount of them will be favoring the dissociation of the oxyhemoglobin, and as a result of which what will happen, the hemoglobin will be broken, it will be released and the oxygen will be released. Now can I say this oxygen will now enter into the cell? I hope you are clear with this. Meanwhile, I hope that much is clear. Now meanwhile, this carbon dioxide along with water will prepare a weak acid which is said to be your carbonic acid, H2CO3. Now you may have a question, sir, water is also present in the plasma. Then why not here? Why it is here? Dear, I will say for that, inside the red blood cell, you have a specific enzyme known as carbonic anhydrase. So I'll write it here. It is your carbonic anhydrase which facilitates this acid formation. And this carbonic anhydrase is not present in the plasma. That is why inside the plasma, carbonic acid formation does not take place. As simple as that. So you have this now. Like I've told you, it's very weak in nature. On formation, immediately it gets broken down into H plus ion and bicarbonate ion. Right? And of course, remember that the same reaction is also facilitated by the same enzyme. Means formation and dissociation both will be facilitated by the carbonic anhydrase. Now what's next? The moment you have got this bicarbonate ion formed, this will come out of the red blood cell and it will enter there inside the plasma. So I'll write it here. And this particular hydrogen ion will come and it will bind with the hemoglobin to form HB, hemoglobinic acid. Right? Now remember one thing, this hemoglobinic acid we will be requiring in the Haldane effect in the next video. For the time being, let's focus on this bicarbonate ion which has come out. Come out where? Come out in the plasma. Now if you remember, plasma contains different types of salts. And one of the salt, yes, you have got it right, one of the salt is your common salt. Right? So I'll write it here for the first. You have the common salt. Now, sodium shows a greater affinity towards the bicarbonate ion than chloride. So as a result of which what will happen? The sodium will leave the chlorine in the form of chloride ion. it will join with the bicarbonate ion and it will form NaHCO3. That means sodium bicarbonate. You remember from where we are getting 70% of sodium bicarbonate? So you have got it now. Meanwhile, all the bicarbonate ion are coming out to the plasma. So don't you think that the electronegativity inside the plasma is increasing? So to balance out that, what will I do? I'll make sure that whatever chloride ion is now free, they will move inside. I should say they will shift inside red blood cell. So here what you are getting? You are getting, I think it's visible here, you are getting sodium bicarbonate. And the chloride ion has shifted in. And this shifting of chloride ion inside the red blood cell is what you call as chloride shift. And this is also known as hamburger phenomenon. So you can actually figure out transportation of carbon dioxide at the tissue level. Right? I hope you have understood. If you have any doubt regarding these, feel free to write me down in the comment section below. And last but not the least, I will be coming up with the second set of video for the same thing. Means here we have talked about the hamburger phenomenon, chloride shift. In the next set of video, I will be talking about Halden's effect, which is known as reverse chloride shift. That means in that particular effect, we will see how the offloading of the carbon dioxide back to the alveoli will take place. So this blood now will be sent to the lungs for the purification or what you call reoxygenation. Fine. So I hope now the whole concept is clear to you, and thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed to my channel, don't hesitate to subscribe it so that you can get these sort of videos in near future. And meanwhile, if you have your own request, please write me down over there so that I can come up with the videos. Till then, take care. Bye bye.